Hey guys, it's Dave Wood and of course Dave Sharp with the Empower Network again, and we just wanted to communicate with you just a message about, who we really are. Because a lot of times when you're looking into a company, the leaders are not open and authentic. They're in fact not open and not authentic, and you look at them, you just can't trust them, right? Because they're not around. You can't get a hold of them. In fact, nobody can get a hold of them. Nobody knows who they are. They're kind of behind somewhere, and they just want people to click on a website and buy something, right? Which, I mean, you're welcome to buy, of course, at any time. But the reality is that we're a little bit different. We come from a different background. We're actually marketers, and we started in the trenches like you. In fact, we're in the trenches right now, and that's actually a core vision of the Empower Network, is we actually make money in this company the same way everybody else does. We're not the gurus at the top of the mountain. We, of course, I do live at the top of the mountain, so that's probably not a good thing to say, because then people see me in the mountain, and they're like, well, I actually are. But the reality is that we started like you, maybe even a worse situation than you. We started earning less money than you're earning with the Empower Network by being a member of this. You get to keep 100% commissions, obviously, so it's obviously just a little bit different. And we are out there every day in the game, writing copy, creating emails, doing offline marketing, online marketing, doing paid advertising, doing email blasts, all the things that we teach people how to do, blogging every single day, and we're a part of this. So how did we really get started? Well, I'm going to turn it over to Dave here, and if you guys haven't actually got a chance to shake Dave's hand at an event or get to meet him, Dave is actually one of the most well-known copywriters in the online network marketing industry. And what a copywriter is they're somebody who sells through words, all right? It's a skill that not everybody is good at. Not everybody actually even has a natural talent for. And Dave actually not only is talented naturally, but he writes these little emails that'll bring in $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 in an hour or two, and it really is unbelievable just reading them, because I want to buy stuff every time I read his emails, right? And he didn't start like that. So what we want to do is just kind of share a little bit more about who we are. We're going to start with Dave. All right, and then I'm going to share a little bit about who I am, and then we're going to share a little bit about who this company is, and also the leaders in our organization, because this video is really about, who are the leaders, who are these guys, right?
Sure, absolutely. Well, my name is David Sharp. Welcome to this video. Welcome to the Empower Network. Honor and a privilege to be here in business with Dave Wood and with our members. It's funny that you mentioned about copywriting, because again, for those of you who are not familiar with the marketing industry and how things happen with marketing in general, copywriting is just essentially writing down words that are in a persuasive and influential manner that get people to take action, whether it be click an email or see a banner on the side of the highway and make you want to call something and buy something or get a free estimate. Here's the interesting thing, though. I really started out, I was not born with a marketing silver spoon, a copywriting silver spoon, anything like that. When I got started, I actually started to generate a couple of leads on the internet. I'll tell you a little bit more about what happened before that, but I actually started to generate a few leads on the internet, and I would go and I would write these little emails to people, and they would actually send them back to me, and they would say, I just can't even stand to read this. It's so bad. I mean, the grammar was horrible. The spelling was bad. I mean, the stories just didn't even make sense. I actually would forward emails over to Erin, who's my partner, and she would actually look over them and say, yeah, I would probably tweak this, or yeah, it's okay to send out. Go ahead, Dave, it's fine. And that's essentially how I started inside of this industry. Now, by becoming serious, a student of the game, and really caring about my future, I've been able to do some things that are pretty amazing. Sometimes I still have to pinch myself. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to now be a part of a system and a solution that other people can actually tap into and have success. But just to kind of go back in time just a little bit more, I actually came from a place of a lot of defeat, a lot of pain, a lot of problems. I actually spent several years in addiction, struggling, homelessness, going through all kinds of different issues in my life, to where it really took me to a point to where my knees became bloody because I was on them so often, just really in a situation of being a desperate person. Now, this was some because of my environmental circumstances. It had a lot to do with just my own personal decisions. I'm not a victim of anything. However, I do know what it's like to go through personal situations, personal struggles. It came a point about 4 years ago, as of recording this video, to where I actually had a decision to make. I could actually continue to live the way that I was living, or I could make a decision to ask somebody for help. I crawled my way into a room, asked a man to help me save my life. He did 4 years later. My life is a completely different life than I've lived the majority of my life. A couple of years later, actually, I was on a construction site, because that's what I did before I got involved in the marketing industry. I swung a hammer, remodeled bathrooms, remodeled kitchens, laid tile down. Shoot, I did anything that it took to put food on the table. And I was on a job, and a man named John came up to the job, and he said, Dave, I think you should take a look at this. And even though I was desperate for something to happen in my life, I was still a little pessimistic and closed-minded, didn't really think that anything could really happen for me. Eventually, I actually got started in that business, and that took me on a journey of struggle once again until I ran into some people like Dave and some information that allowed me to start earning more money than I'd ever made in my entire life, start doing more things that I loved with the people that I loved doing them with, and experiencing a life beyond my wildest dreams. Today I sit here in front of you as a part of a movement, of a part of a solution, of a part of a system that anyone, not just a guru, not just somebody who's got previous experience, but somebody who is just like me when I got started, swinging a hammer on a construction site with no previous experience. I didn't actually even own a computer. I'm a part of a solution and a system now that even those people can get in, get involved with, and make a whole lot of money.
Well, that's incredible, Dave. And, my situation, actually, it's kind of funny listening to you because we kind of got similar stories. Dave was homeless, and so was I.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is kind of funny, two homeless guys starting a company that changes the world. But,
Sure.
The reality is I was homeless, too. And I was homeless, actually, for a little different reasons. I didn't have a drug problem, but I had a money problem, definitely. And we lived my wife and I lived in a green 1996 Dodge Caravan, had the green paint peeling off and rusting, because, of course, if you've ever lived in Hawaii, cars just rust because it's near the salt water in the ocean. And we used to get woken up almost every night by a drug dealer, the police, getting a ticket. I remember I was down to last few bucks in my bank account. I had just gotten fired from my job that was a Greenpeace job. I was actually one of these guys that wore the blue Greenpeace shirts and wandered around on the street corners hitting people up for, little donations to Greenpeace there, and we'd get a commission, of course, when we'd get donations. So I was motivated, making $1,000 a month or something, working